So I'm really happy to introduce David Wick. He is a global peace builder and visionary leader dedicated to fostering humanity's highest potential. As executive director of the Ashland Culture of Peace, he brought to our community the Eternal World Peace Flame, which is located on the SOU campus, if you haven't ever seen it. He serves as president of Pathways to Peace, the UN-affiliated nonprofit that helped establish the International Day of Peace. David is a Rotarian and past president of the Rotary E-Club of World Peace. And yes, there is such a club. I went to one of their meetings. He co-founded initiatives such as Peace Building Through Business and the Peace Within Organizations program at Stanford University. He has more than 30 years of executive leadership and has conducted organizational development and cross-cultural engagement in roles at Sun Microsystems, Levi Strauss, Stanford University, and the European Foundation for Management Development. He is also one of a small team initiating the Oregon Peace Trail, which you will hear about. And David is recognized for inspiring collaboration, developing visionary strategies, and translating them into real-world impact.
They've got
I
a
am delighted
foundation
to be here with
donations.
you.
Okay.
And I did get the memo. And I'm very pleased to be invited to talk about peace and peace
Amen.
building.
And my
And
sound
it's
isn't
something
hooked up.
that we are engaged in every day, daily, in the choices that we make, in our relationships, in our behaviors, and what we're doing in our families, in our lives, in our communities, and in Rotary. Rotary is a fantastic organization dedicated to service, as we all know. And service in the broader picture is creating peace and well-being in the world. So I'm going to go on a journey with you. It's going to be a quick journey. You're going to go through a lot of information, but giving you an overview of some of the things that are taking place within Rotary, as well as some reflections on what's happening here in this club. So the Ashland Culture Peace Commission, we created that off of the 1999 at the UN, the Declaration is a program, Declaration and Program of Action of a Culture of Peace, which is universal, which is a fundamental of the UN. And that means a culture of peace is a set of values, attitudes,
Look under work, not work orders. Well, work orders,
and
forms,
ways of
something like
life.
that.
Forms of templates.
All things. There's an overarching view of what we're involved in. So I'm going to stand back here so I can read some of this, and I will move around a little bit. So basically, we're talking about the strategic role of peace, of peace with Rotary. Not moving. Okay. There you go. So this was from 1910. Founded the Rotary objective of Rotary. What is Rotary about as a foundation? And the bottom line here, it says the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through world health fellowship, business and profession, professional persons united in the ideal of service. Peace is the foundation.
Boxes or 4 boxes?
The 4-way test. We're very aware of the 4-way test. What does it mean? Is it truth? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? What is that doing? Those are choices.
What do you want to say?
It's not automatic. Do we live that really? Sometimes, you know, we
that
make
was
different choices.
$3,000 for that set.
To really live this is talking about creating peace in our
It's
lives.
worth at least $1,000.
Inner peace by following, is it the truth?
It's barely used.
I think in 2000.
Rotary International. Rotary creates environments of peace. As a humanitarian organization, peace is a cornerstone of our mission. We believe when people work to create peace in their communities, that change can have a global effect. We are approaching the concept of peace with greater cohesion and inclusivity, broadening the scope of what we mean by peace building,
all over my desk.
finding more ways for people to get involved. Rotary creates environments where peace can happen. We create environments where peace can happen. You go to one of the other countries on the WASH program and doing different things. The Rotary, great programs is creating the environment for peace and well-being as a choice. Rotary Action Group for Peace. What if we saw Rotary not as a network of service clubs, but as a global movement for peace? Together, we can create a world built on dialogue, collaboration, and understanding. Peace exists in many ways. Rotary has a big history of peace, and we'll go through all these. But if you may know, Rotary was part of the UN, founded the UN in 1945, a key part. We have many other activities, such as the Peace Fellows and the Peace Centers. What can we do? Polio. We were just talking about polio earlier. The tremendous effect that Rotary has had in creating greater well-being in the world through that kind of health approach. It had a major impact. It's creating the environment of well-being and peace building. How many people are saved from the scourge of that disease? Service projects. Rotary is deeply involved with the service projects in so many different ways. The things that you do locally, those are all part of creating greater well-being and the happiness within this community and within other communities. Vocational training teams, assisting young people in learning new ways of approach of how to, what pathways do they have. Just talking to the students here, it's creating a pathway for them. Friendship exchange. This is something that I'm sure some of you have been involved with. I know Michelle Cortetti from the district, our local district. She's in, I forget which country she's in, but on a friendship exchange right now, which is fantastic. Creating, again, greater relationship, trusted relationship, friendships. Rotary Youth Exchange. This is something that, you know, perhaps some of you have experienced yourselves or some of your relationships, you know, young people, children, grandchildren. Again, it's about trusted relationships and then making choices from those relationships. It's all about learning. We are continually learning, no matter how old we are, continuing learning and making choices and creating greater well-being in our world. That's around peace building that Rotary stands. In the between Pakistan and India, Rotary has created the Indus Peace Park. That's right on the border, and you may have heard about that, but it's a big story. Again, that's creating inter-country peace and peace building. And with the conventions, you know, what if you've been to one, what's going on? Relationships, the joy of being together, the joy of learning together. But again, it's like it's an environment. And so many people, more and more people in Rotary are understanding the culture of peace. It's not just creating peace, it's the culture of peace. That's what you're doing when you working with other countries. That's what you're doing here in Medford. It's helping to create the culture of peace where there is goodwill, there is, peace, as Mother Teresa says, it begins with a smile. Yeah, that's right. At the United Nations, Rotary has, I think it's 50 different people in many different segments of the United Nations. Again, it was part of the beginning. The foundation areas of focus, which you know well, all of these, and many people are saying, well, yes, we have peace building and conflict prevention, but the truth is every area is an area of peace building. There's not just a segment. Everything that we do is of service, creating greater well-being, greater relationships. District grants, this is our district, 5330, and these are the different projects that we have funded. Again, is creating a community that we want to live in, that we want to be a part of, that we want for our children. Green is a choice. Fellowships. The Rotary Action Group for Peace. I'm sure you've heard of those. Again, these are what can we do as an organization? Clubs that become peace builder clubs, what does that mean? It's taking action and making choices. The promoting peace, the Rotary peace activators that came from the IEP. And the peace centers. That's the big deal within Rotary. And how many other organizations take that kind of a stand to really provide that kind of environment and investment for young people to go through 2 years of learning, get educated and move on. And so many of them we stay in the peace building arena. So those are many of the locations. And we have actually so about 1,800 alumni now in the Peace Fellows. Shows you where some of them are. So really, peace, think about it. Peace and peace building, the culture of peace. It's mindset. It begins with, and it was mentioned with the UN preamble, with the UNESCO preamble. It's in the minds of people where the wars begin. It's in the minds of us when peace and peace building begins. It's the minds, it's in the hearts, and how we're moved by just our own consciousness, but in our hearts. But then it's a choice. When we understand we do have a choice, then what choices do we make? What choices do we make in our families? Families are tough. Relationships are tough. But what do we do with that relationship? What we do in our work? It's a choice of how we behave, how we function, then moves to behavior. The same thing with, with all things that we do with Rotary. So it's not just peace as well. I don't know what to do because I can't deal with Gaza or what's going on there. You don't need to. Or you may have some influence to do something about that, take some kind of action, but where it really is in our home. It really is in our relationships. That's where, because that ripples out. What we do ripples out. There's a whole another realm I won't get into, but there's a whole energetic impact that we have. We're all connected, seriously connected. And what we do makes an impact that we don't even see. So Peace on Earth by 2030 moonshot. This is something that's relatively new in Rotary and it's becoming a very big deal. There's a lot behind this, which I won't go into, but the moonshot is coming out with David Gershon. I'm working very closely with David and others that you may have heard about Peace Game and Peace Zones, which are all part of that. So the Peace Games, there's 7 different peace practices. I won't go through that, but this is part of that. So it's really the exercise of different actions, of different attitudes, of different understandings of how we're behaving. And Rotarians can be part of this with Peaceful, the Peace Game itself, And then there's peace zone. It really is how to impact our communities. A peace zone. It really is what do we choose in our communities in terms of what do we want to live in. So we want to show you a brief video. And again, this is the top of the Rotary organization who are saying, yes, this is important and is growing within Rotary, embracing the moonshot, but just embracing all things that Rotary is peace and peace building. Good, John.
Today, my colleague and current Rotary International Director, Patrick Eakes from zones 33 and 34. These two zones continue to build peace through Rotary, through service, and Patrick is going to tell us exactly how. Patrick.
Rotary has always been at its best when we've rallied around bold, world-changing goals. We've seen in our fight to eradicate polio. Now we have the chance to take on Rotary's first comprehensive global peace initiative, the Peace on Earth by 2030 Moonshot. This moonshot aligns with Rotary's mission, and it has the potential to become our organization's next great endeavor. Rotary has been in the peace business for almost its entire existence. The pursuit of peace is in our DNA, as Rebecca reminded us. I see my home zones 33 and 34 fully engaging as pilot programs of this moonshot, then helping us to spread this vision across the globe. That's the opportunity before us. At its heart, the Peace Moonshot is built on a clear theory of change, and that requires lasting peace, both individually and as a community transformation at scale. Individually, members engage through the Peace Game, which teaches 7 transformative peace practices that anyone can apply in daily life. Collectively, communities become peace zones, places where those same practices are woven into the social fabric. Together, these 2 dimensions, personal and community transformation, can help us reach a global tipping point for peace by 2030. By engaging 0.5% of the world's population, we will reach that tipping point. Is that an audacious goal? You bet. Is it achievable? Absolutely. We have 46,000 clubs, and if 1/4 of those create peace zones, we will achieve the global awareness that peace on Earth can be a reality. And why Rotary? Well, because this initiative is both strategic and catalytic for us. It allows us to leverage our unparalleled global network, our peace infrastructure, and our reputation around a bold, unifying vision. It enhances the impact of projects we're already doing by fostering cooperation and cohesion in the communities we serve. It elevates Rotary's global profile, making us more visible, more relevant, and more attractive, especially to younger generations who resonate with peace building. We won't be doing this alone. The Empowerment Institute, architect of the Peace Moonshot, has developed customized resources to support Rotary's efforts. The Rotary Peace Game provides a practical framework that clubs can integrate easily into meetings and community projects. The Rotary Peace Zone Leadership Corps offers training and coaching so clubs can actively cultivate peace zones in their communities. This is an invitation not just to participate, but to lead. As our founder, Paul Harris, reminded us, there is nothing impossible for Rotary. Together, we have the reach, the human capital, and the methodologies to create lasting peace on a global scale. So let's embrace this moonshot. Let's commit our creativity, our networks, and our service to help humanity reach a tipping point for peace. If we do, then by 2030, we can look back and say, Rotary helped bring the world closer to its founding dream, peace on Earth. Rotary knows how to do this. Together, through our clubs, our peace centers, and our collective action, we can make peace something the world doesn't just imagine, but actually feels. Thank you for being part of this work. And may we all continue to make peace our shared opus, our shared strategy, and our shared legacy.
Rotary, if you think about it, is one of the only, or perhaps the only, international organization that has a standing respect and ability to have the message that impacts the world on this level. And each of us makes a difference. What you do in your club has an impact. Right along the line of what Patrick Eakes is talking about. I have a email just from a couple of days ago from David Gershon, founder of the World of the Moonshot, to Patrick, and it said, "Dear Patrick, I wanted to share an encouraging development that reflects the seeds you have planted so thoroughly across zones 33 and 34. Zones, not a district. Zones is the whole East Coast to the Bahamas, to the and that they're engaging with the peace game and peace zones to really engage with that as a whole. So that is something that is starting right now. So as Stephanie Urchek said, I'm glad that so many Rotarians are becoming involved with the peace game. I'm grateful for the wonderful work it is doing to further peace in the world. We are ambassadors of peace, from Stephanie Urchek. This is what I was reading from about Patrick. And there we go. Which all comes to a part of what's come out of playing the peace game myself. Al Jubitz, Larry Strober up in the Portland area, Rotarians, with the inspiration of the Oregon Peace Trail, which is now really getting planned out and scoped out, was for an interior land interior to the state trail, and found there's some real difficulties with that and safety, etc. Now it's focused in on a coast trail, so Oregon Coast Peace Trail, and so that's really in development. I talked with Ian and the club presidents about that. So more to come. I won't get into the detail about that. So we'll leave it at that. And thank you very much.
I'm coming. I'm on my way. Oh, slow.
Yeah, one of the things you didn't mention is Rotary International gives incredible support to medical teams every month, all the time. Matter of fact, I'm on the board of America Alliance for Smiles, and we just supported completely one of our trips to Lagos last week. And every time we go to these countries, we're met with Rotarians that feed us, that take care of us, and so it's a big issue. And a lot of Rotary clubs donate all of their funds to support medical mission work.
Okay, got it.
Thank you for what you do too, Ron.
Other thoughts, questions? Thank you very much.